Hello CBE students and welcome. This video is just to give you some quick tips and some guidelines in the preparation of your final group project. Now your final group project is found in the folder with all of your assessments, and of course the project is a sector analysis. So your paper is actually building on the previous analysis that you would have conducted in the group case study that you submitted prior. So the assignment is, you have advised your board of directors on the most suitable CARICOM country to invest in. They are in agreement with your suggestion and have voted for it. The board now requires you to conduct a sector analysis in the chosen CARICOM country to determine the most viable sector, currently or in the not too distant future, based on firm's business interest as an investment option. So now that you would have selected your country, you now would need to select a sector that is based on what you believe the firm is interested in and what is also a viable investment option. And ideally, you have to conduct an analysis of that major sector to figure out if it's a good fit for which you need to engage in further investment. Now, within the country that you would have selected in the prior case study, you're going to have an overview of the various sectors that exist within that country. So some of the sectors that you can do the analysis on would be a choice of, is only one, to the tourism or the ICT or agriculture. There is manufacturing or energy. All right. So ideally, you want to choose a sector in the country that you believe your board, you can do some investment for the firm in which you are advising the board of directors. So kind of look at the various sectors that the country has. Now, if there is another sector that you are interested in that is not listed in these 6 sectors, you can send me an email and I would approve it for you. But you have to first seek my approval. If in doubt, choose one out of these 6 sectors. So ideally, you will conduct some initial research, and when you figure out and you have narrowed your option, you would want to begin your report with providing a history of the sector. Now, please know that all reporting guidelines must be adhered to, meaning that in all projects, you've got to have your cover page, you should have your table of contents, and you must have an introduction. So the introduction of your report would take you through just giving a little background of what was done before any prior assignment, so that the examiner would understand what was done and where you're heading. Then give the purpose of this assignment, and then end the introduction by giving a little structural outline as to what are the subsequent sections that this report will contains. So you give them a preview as to what is to come, what's next. All right, if you want to include any background information about the topic as well, feel free to do so, but you don't want your introduction to be too lengthy. All right. Okay, so number 1, basically you're going to give a history of the emergence of this sector. So tell us which sector you have selected, the origin of the sector, any information, any data at all in terms of the growth of the sector, the emergence of the sector and the growth of the sector, how it started and where is it now as of today. Number 2, you're going to trace the performance of the sector over the past 5 years. Now, as you would remember, this course deals with data, it deals with statistics. So in order to trace the performance of the sector, you want to state who are the large players, who are the main companies dominating that sector. You also want to give an overview of the various types of products and services offered by that sector. Let's say, for example, we are talking about the health sector. The health sector is large. Under the health sector, there's a provision of health services. What if it's primary care, private medical care? What if it's pharmacies, health clinics? Then you also have those subsidiary health stores such as the supplements industry, or you may have coaching and fitness. All of these are various types of products and services under the umbrella of the health sector. So you want to give an overview of the various products and services under the health sector. Under the sector that you have selected. And also give us an idea as to the employment of that sector. Alright, what the labor force is like. If you have any statistics, it will help. Also, its contribution to GDP. Alright, so I just want to highlight that area here. The sector's contribution to GDP, to employment, as I just described, and of course, whether that sector earns any foreign exchange for the chosen country. And if they're not earning any foreign exchange, please say why. If they are, please state in what way. Okay, number 3 now, you're just going to use evidence to support your position in terms of how you believe the global financial and economic crisis could affect the sector. Would there be positive effects? Would there be negative effects? So all of this from number 1 goes straight down as the body of your report. Okay? Use statistics based, there's no right or wrong answer, but it's how you justify, how you feel the sector will be affected or could be affected, what if it's positively or negatively from the global and economic crisis. So you could look at past trends and you could use that evidence to help support what you're saying. Number 4, do you see increasing globalization? As you would remember, globalization is the opening of markets internationally where countries trade with one another, they communicate with one another. All right, so do you think globalization is playing a positive role in developing or destroying? Because it could help with developing because there's more markets or maybe access to cheaper materials, but it could also destroy via, let's say, the emergence of multinational corporations coming as competitors. So how is it affecting the sector? And we're talking about the sector, all right? Positively or negatively. And again, provide evidence. And then you want to explain in number 5, do you believe the government should play a more hands-on role? In other words, should they play the role of a prime mover to develop the sector, or do you believe they should play a facilitative role? And then look at you can, based on the government and their involvement in the country and other sectors, maybe you can use that to back up and justify what role you feel the government would play, and in terms of it being most beneficial for the sector's development. In the end, number 6, you just want to now state how would the full implementation of CSME or CARICOM single market economy affect the chosen sector? So how do you think, would it be positive, would it be negative, and in what way do you think that it will, affect the chosen sector, in what magnitude? How could the firm's development be enhanced or hurt by this development as well? So the firm that you're talking about as well, from the board of directors, do you believe that the CSME, apart from it affecting the sector, but how do you believe it will hamper the development of the company or the firm? And then lastly, give your any recommendation to the board of directors for moving forward, right? What would be a final recommendation? Should they go ahead in selecting that sector not if they're using the sector, if they decide to invest in the sector, are there any things that they have to be mindful of? Are there any things that they have to do to be prepared? All right, what recommendations? And use support again. So basically you're answering all of these. So your recommendations, number 7, will be under the section of recommendations. All right, so make sure you have a recommendations chapter and you answer the recommendation chapter. You're answering, question 7 under recommendations. Before your recommendations, you would want to have your conclusion. So again, it's cover page, table of contents, introduction, then the body, which takes you from question 1 straight to question 6. You then do a brief conclusion, and then you do recommendation, which covers number 7. This is a 3,000 words written report, but there's also an oral presentation that goes with the report. So when you're finished, all right, you're going to divide up all of these areas in a PowerPoint presentation. So again, in the PowerPoint presentation, you want to have, an overview of the sector. That could be one slide. Another slide could deal with the performance of the sector, past performance, in the last 5 years. Then you can have a slide that deals with the key points in terms of how the global financial and economic crisis could affect the sector or has affected the sector in the past. All right, so you just kind of dedicate a slide for each area, ending with a slide with your final recommendations. Try not to overcrowd your slides with too much information. Try not to copy and paste what you would have done in the report, but just kind of select points. When you're finished with the PowerPoint presentation, all right, which is using Microsoft PowerPoint, you would want to orally present it. So there's an oral presentation. It's not just a PowerPoint. So in eClassroom, there is a video that I would like to direct you to. I just uploaded the video. The video says it's in the first week, the first block. How to produce PowerPoint presentations with voice recordings, because you and your group will have to record your oral presentation over your PowerPoint. Now, not all group members, it's not mandatory for everyone to present. Okay, so I'm leaving that option in terms of who are the stronger presenters, and which, that's your choice really in terms of who will be doing the presenting. So you can view this video to figure out how to present over a PowerPoint presentation. Once you have done that, the next step is to convert the oral presentation PowerPoint into a video, and you upload the video into YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, you will have to create one. And then once it's uploaded into YouTube, it means that anyone can view that YouTube link. So you will therefore post the link into this discussion forum. Video sizes are too large to be uploaded in this course page, hence the reason why every time I do videos for you, it would be a YouTube link, even this one as we speak. So please follow these 5 to 6 steps and convert your video into your oral presentation into a video that can be uploaded into YouTube. Once it's uploaded, post the link in this forum. I've given you a few extra days, 2 days after your final project is submitted, so December the 15th. Now, if you're not familiar with this, please practice it beforehand so that it won't be problematic, so that you can meet your course deadline. If you are familiar with any other method for creating oral presentations via PowerPoint, feel free to use it, but just make sure that your final oral presentation video is uploaded into YouTube so that the link is provided in this submission forum. Okay, so I thank you for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Try not to wait until the last minute to send me an email. Send it to me early so that I can give you an answer and you can implement and apply whatever it is that you are unsure of. Okay, take care, folks. Until the next one, bye for now.